Today I had a good day. Woke up at 2 a.m. I was tired, but I finally overcame being tired. And I went to the gym at 4 a.m. I worked out. I then came home. I took a nap. And then I went and I worked out again here at home with my military style workout. That went well. I had an awesome day because I met with my brother for coffee, and we've not ever done that. And it's been something of a reality check for me. They've forgiven me. And I know forgiveness is not for me, but it's for them. And that makes me so happy that they've been able to do that. And my brother and sister mean everything to me. My mom means everything to me. And those are my three family members right there, my mom, my brother, and my sister. And I want to make sure that I do my part. And my part means to get involved. You know, I didn't send birthday cards or Christmas cards or anything like that, and I need to. I need to start doing that for every member of my family. That includes my brother and sister's kids, their spouses. It includes my mom. And, you know, I have one person I can give a card to. I don't have but one friend right now, and that one friend is not really a friend. She's a helper. She's a social worker, and she's helped me out tremendously. But the bottom line is, I believe in a lifetime, my dad said it, you'll have that many friends that you can call that you had as friends throughout life. I've had friends that I can call that. They're in that group. Not many, maybe one or two. But I want to start working on my relationships and dealing with how I can improve the quality of my relationships with people that I meet. As for now, I'm not looking for a partner, a female partner that is a girlfriend. I will let that happen as it may. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But for now, I'm just going to let things come in. And my brother said something to me today that was really important. He said he has thinned out his group of friends, and he only deals with people that bring him something to the table. That doesn't mean he takes from them. It means that in both areas of a friendship, they both have to be giving. And he made a very clear point that I believe wholeheartedly in, and that's where I'm going with my friendships. I have a doctor friend who's really, truly a lifesaver for me. And I can say that that's my one friend outside of my family that I have. It's not probably an ethical thing because he's my doctor, but he's somebody that I have entrusted and that has not taken from me in any negative way whatsoever. He's always been positive in terms of what he brings to the relationship. And my hope is I got the same in reverse. And he's leaving the practice that he was in with Alina, and he's opening his own practice, and he doesn't take my insurance, but I'm still going to go. And I see him once every 2 to 3 months, so it's not a big deal. It's worth every red cent that I spend on it. So I can call Dr. Massa my friend, and I can put him first as my doctor, so I can be very, very open and honest with him when it comes to the part of me failing, but I'm not going to fail. As of right now, I am not an addict. I am not addicted to anything. So why would I say, hi, I'm John, I'm an addict? I shouldn't, and I won't. I refuse to put myself down that path. I think a lot of times when I was leaving treatment one time, they said relapse is part of recovery. I thought that's bullshit. That's got to be the biggest line of shit I've ever heard in my life because it keeps you hooked into the system. And in my opinion, going from the treatment centers to the halfway houses to the meetings, they're all scam. The meetings only bring up what you've done in the past, and it reminds you of the use. And believe me, we wouldn't have become addicts if we didn't enjoy the process. And so you get triggered. And I will never again, and I did it the first time in my early 20s when I got addicted to cocaine, I ended up getting away from all of it. I went to one meeting. My mom said, I'll take you to one meeting. If you don't like it, you don't have to go back. I went to the one meeting. I didn't like it. I didn't go back, and I didn't use for 20 plus years. So this time around, I ended up doing 17 treatments because I was trying to do these meetings, 90 meetings in 90 days. Go to 3 meetings a day if you have to. All the meetings did to me was trigger me. It made me think about the use, and it made me want to use. And I would relapse. And I'm not blaming the meetings on it. I'm blaming myself for sticking with that for so long. The last time I was in treatment, finally the day before I left, I said to myself, something's got to change. What's the problem? And I finally looked back and said, what did I do the first time around where I had the 20 plus years sobriety? And it was I didn't focus on it. I focused on my career. I'm becoming an airline pilot, as a professional wrestler. I was doing both of those at the same time. I didn't have time to think about drugs or alcohol or recovery or anything like that crap. And I didn't walk around and say, "Hi, I'm John, I'm an addict." To me, that is the biggest detriment that you can have in that whole system, is identifying yourself as something. If you're not using and you're not addicted to something, you're not an addict. If you have a cold, you can say, "Hi, I'm John, I've got a cold." Or you can say, "Hi, I'm John, I've got an addiction." But I can also say, "Hi, I'm John," and that's it. Why should I keep pounding myself in the head with saying over and over and over and over, "I'm an addict"? Why would I do that? The problem is that I shouldn't, and no one should have to. It's so demeaning. And then they separate you from other people. You're not normal. Nobody's normal. Everybody's got an addiction. I don't care if it's to a substance or not. If you don't have an addiction to a substance, you've got an addiction to a behavior. And you know I'm truly honest about that, and you know it's real. You know deep down inside, if you can't admit that you don't have an addiction to some behavior that you perform, you're lying through your teeth. So be honest with yourself. So before somebody judges another person because they had a substance addiction, it's a behavior. That substance addiction is a behavior. So why isn't it any worse for somebody who's got another addiction, maybe to hurting people? They like to make fun of somebody, or they sit there and they judge other people. And that judgment on other people is just as damaging to your own life as it is to theirs. So the bottom line is that I am absolutely done with this concept of meetings and everything else. It's a joke. It's all a joke. When you want to quit, you quit. And when you're not addicted to something, you don't have to go around and say, "Hi, I'm John, I'm an addict." Why would I do that to myself? I'm not walking around and saying, "Hi, I'm John, I'm a rapist." I've never raped a woman in my life. Why would I identify with it? Why would I identify with something I'm not? And that's the whole point. "Hi, I'm John, I'm a liar." I could say that because I've lied before. We all have. And so you don't go around and identify yourself as a liar. Now, if you are a liar and you're doing it right now, be honest with yourself. Say, "I'm a liar," and then get rid of the lies. Then you don't have to go around and say, "Hi, I'm John, I'm a liar." That's the whole point. I know it sounds stupid, but bottom line is, don't allow yourself to beat yourself down to a point to where you think that other people have the pull on you to be able to make you do that. If you're in treatment, or you've just gotten out of treatment, or you've been out of treatment, get away from the meetings for a while and see what happens. They claim you're going to go use if you don't go to meetings. Do this though. Find something you can focus on. Find an outcome that you want and focus on that. Don't focus on going to meetings or thinking about using. And if something triggers you, get on top of it immediately and say, "You know what? That triggered me, and I'm going to start focusing on what you're trying to go after in life." That's what saved my life, was aviation. When I came out of treatment, I paid cash for it so nobody knew I went, but I went into aviation and I became an airline pilot. I got all my ratings in 5.5 months, and I became an airline pilot within 2 years. And I was a captain within 3.5. So I made a difference in my life. I was 20 plus years sober in that. Then I started having the injury issues with the wrestling, and I ended up with a lot of pain meds. And I had the problem. 17 treatments later, I finally figured it out. Enough. Start focusing on something good. And my good right now is going to be a podcast that I can share with other people my experience, so they too can live a normal life and not be demised. Have a great night.